I want a phone book. Do they even have phone books anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think they do.
Do they?
RadioOnFire.com. Yours truly, DiamondK&Dad here. Was not expecting that. We are in the Radio on Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm joined again by the man, the myth, the legend, my father. How you doing?
Fantastic.
So yesterday was the Baltimore Music Awards. So we had that 7th annual Baltimore Music Awards. So that was a successful event. So I definitely want to thank everyone who helped behind the scenes, who came to the event, who voted, who nominated, who even shared the flyer or even told someone about it just by word of mouth. I want to thank everybody that helped with that event. Of course, you can see all of the winners and everything at BaltimoreMusicAwards.com. So I want to talk some current events. Unfortunately, we are in the age of Trump, Donald Trump. It's like a nightmare that Donald Trump is the president, at least from where I sit. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, let me digress for 1 second and piggyback on what you're talking about last night. I was there last night, and let me tell you what was rewarding for me to see is local people, DJs and rappers in Baltimore City getting recognition. You know what I mean? When they came back to their seats, they got their trophy, and their family and friends are cheering them and grabbing them, hugging them, kissing them. It's very rare that we give ourselves that recognition, and that's where it starts. You got to give yourself, your people, your group recognition first, and that's the start. Because here's the thing too: a lot of people don't experience something very basic, and that's pride.
Definitely,
to be proud of themselves.
Yeah,
and so that was a very wonderful affair, and I was glad to be there, and I'm glad my son was involved, and thank you for inviting me to come.
Yes, thanks for coming. Definitely.
Back to the nightmare.
Yeah.
It's interesting because sometimes I don't even want to hear or read anything about Donald Trump, because he's a player. He's just playing a role and playing a game. And the news media and people just fall right in line, and he just goes back home and laughs and tries to figure out. It's easy for him to know exactly what the media is how they're gonna respond. I'm gonna say this, and they're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. And he's always playing them like a fiddle. But that's the sad thing about it.
Very much so.
And you were talking before we came on air, and I said that when Michelle Obama said during the campaign 2016 that when they go low, we go high. Initially, I said, no, you got to fight these people in the weeds where they are. But when I look at the situation, they will go as low as possible. I mean, if you're trying to get a pedophile to run for the Senate and we behind you, you cannot get in the weeds with them. These people have no morals, period. So what the Obama was saying is that we have to distinguish ourselves. There's a difference. Either you want morals or you want a country run by thugs, hoodlums, because that's what they are. They're thugs and hoodlums with no morals, no nothing. Anything goes. Then the whole world gonna go.
But I mean, that makes sense. But it's just like on the flip side of that, if you don't fight them that way, they may destroy everything while we're just trying to be polite and proper and decent. But what if Trump eggs on North Korea to the point where we can't go back any further and we were just waiting for the opportunity. I mean, how can we combat
that? I understand what you're saying, and I was thinking, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
From the standpoint that it's frightening to think that we're just gonna, you're just gonna let them go.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that it's such a fine line that the only thing that distinguished America from the rest of the world, and the reason that America called themselves and people looked at them as the policemen of the world, is that there was a difference in this society. It's almost now like a banana republic, and so that he wants to be a dictator. Okay,
yeah.
Now everybody knows he wants to be a dictator.
Yeah,
and so you have to distinguish themselves from that. It's a fine line. I mean, and I agree. It's going to be a learning process for us. But we can't get in the weeds with him. We've got to separate ourselves and give the American people a choice. Either you want, we're going to have the elections, about 5-6 days in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Either you, America, want a pedophile to be in the Senate, or a man who put in prison the men who killed 4 little girls. Trump said that Moore was a law and order. Law and order. The man that he's running against was a man of law and order who took 40 years to put them in jail for killing 4 girls. So both of these individuals, Moore and Jones, see how they react with little girls. One tries to molest little girls. And one put in jail the men who killed little girls. And so we have to distinguish ourselves this way. I'm going to be on the side, this might sound familiar to you, truth and justice.
And right.
And right.
And right. But see, the thing is that I think the country understands that. And if this election was happening anywhere else, I would say that they're going to get it right. But in Alabama, it is a good old boys network. And unfortunately, I think those people are brainwashed down there. They have effectively switched the narrative from the right and wrong that we're speaking about and making it bigger than that and trying to say that it's about the status quo and something different. They're trying to come to Alabama and tell us what to do, and this guy's one of our own, and so right. on with that kind of strategy. But so what's your predictions?
No, I agree
on this okay. Election.
I agree. I don't know. I kind of think that they're going to elect Moore.
He wouldn't get elected here in Maryland.
No.
You know what I mean? Right. Well, I don't think. But anywhere else.
But I agree. I think that he may. I hope he doesn't, but I think he may. But here's the bigger picture: is that in 2018, I think that there's going to be a big change. The American people will be on the side of what's right.
And I guess that's the payoff for doing things the right way.
Right. And then again, Jones may get in. I mean, I don't know. But
it's close.
Either way it goes, I think by 2018, they're going to be, the American people will be ready to make the right decisions and see that we can't continue to go down the road we're going.
Now, I don't think that all of the Republicans are bad per se. But I do think that they value the ability to get a vote that they think is going to vote in their direction more than things that happened way in the past. Does that make them bad?
No, and I think what's going to happen is that people in 2018 are going to start to vote and speak about how to make America better, not how to make the Republican Party better, the Democratic Party better. We are going to be for what's right for this country. And I think that they're going to begin to see that. And I think that will be the turning point. It's
even if Roy Moore is elected, I don't think that's going to be a good thing for Republicans. They can't control him. He's not going to be somebody that's going to always say and do what they want, and then they're going to have to wear that necklace around their neck of the pedophilia necklace. Like, this is your guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna have to wear that necklace. I think at the end of the day, they're gonna get to bickering amongst themselves. Maybe the best thing is for him to get elected and then pull them down a bit than for the Democrat to get elected and then they constantly bickering with him and using that as making more a martyr, so to speak.
Well, I really think that we don't even have to worry because I think that it's going to work out for the best either way. So that way, if he gets in, fine. If he don't get in, I mean, we as a country will prosper, and we will, I think, by 2018, be ready to set the path correctly.
Yeah. I hope so. Trump, like you said, he's always trying to push buttons and do things to distract from this investigation that's going on, and it's not going to stop. You saw the tweet that came out over his account about him saying that he knew about him lying to the FBI, and that's why he was fired. And then the lawyer switched and said that he wrote it. Does it matter who wrote it?
No, because
it shouldn't matter.
It's your administration. You got you collaborate together, you talk together, and discuss what you're gonna do. So they exposed themselves.
Yeah,
that was quite blatant. And but he's exposed himself on so many occasions. He said on television when he was with NBC anchor interviewing him that I fired him because I wanted him to stop the investigation. He said it. But then again, Trump can say he said that wasn't his voice now on the
amazing with Billy Bush.
So, and like you said, certain people will accept it and believe it. Yeah.
The craziest thing that I saw with this cult of Trump is there was a guy, and they had a focus group, and the guy said that if Jesus Christ got off the cross and told him that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia, he would say, hold on a second, Jesus, and ask Donald Trump, did you really collude with Russia? I mean, just some of them think like that. Like they're so, I don't understand what it is. He has charisma, but is it the fact that he has success and they feel like he can lead us somewhere? Like why do they follow him so much? He
was on television and they think he's a billionaire. And here's a guy who could not get any money anywhere in this world from no bank in America.
Yeah, definitely not in this country.
Nowhere. Because he defaults, bankrupts, and fights against paying anybody anything. What is it? Deutsche
Bank.
Yeah, that's the only way he gets money. And then their reputation is as bad as his.
They're super shady.
Yeah, I mean, so, birds of a feather, I can't remember how it goes, flock together. And so that's one thing that Americans need to know too, because if we keep hanging with him, birds of a feather flock together.
I think that he keeps pushing it and keeps pushing it and keeps pushing it with the Jerusalem business that he has going on. What is that going to be? That's going to be something major, don't you think?
Well, this is another distraction, just to create controversy, just to get people from concentrating over here with this Russian and this investigation. Because let me tell you, if push comes to shove, he will start a war.
If the investigation, the Russian investigation gets too hot,
he'll
start a war with who?
With anybody.
Whoever.
Korea. He'll threaten them. He'll tweet and say, you little, what is he called?
Rocket Man.
You little Rocket Man, I'll smack you. He'll say, and then Rocket Man gonna get mad. He would do this. But look at what he's done. He has alienated England. They won't even let him come to the country. This is America's best friend. He wants to be a dictator. He wants to be friends with. He wants to be Putin. You know what I mean? And they tell him what to do because they had told him, because they didn't think he was going to win anyway. They just wanted to create chaos in the country. So when when the elections were coming in, they said for him not to admit or accept defeat.
Right.
Even if Hillary win, don't.
You remember he said that?
Yeah. But what happened is that came from WikiLeaks. They told him to do that, and he did, and he was going to do it.
So what you're saying is that even if Hillary had won, he would have fought it tooth and nail.
He would be fighting it today.
Well, I mean, he still brings her up like he didn't win. He still brings it up anytime something happens. Hillary did this.
He would be fighting it. He would be fighting it today and contesting the elections.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And here's another thing. He's the kind of a guy that, he is never going to leave being president. I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
How you going to make him leave?
In 4 years, just up.
No. He's not going to leave. It's going to be
You think he can maintain this 30% of people that support him, 35, 37, whatever it is?
It's going to be confusion in the country. Believe me, he will never, ever, until he dies, he's going to think that he's going to be guaranteed.
Wow.
It's going to be problems unless we get control of the morality of this country and the American people vote strongly in 2018 and in
definitely
2020.
Definitely that. But what about this? So as the noose is tightening around his son-in-law, Kushner, you don't think that that's going to, I mean, he can't pardon everybody. Let's just pretend that he pardons a couple of people. He can't pardon everybody. At some point, I think you don't think that the pressure would get too much for him. He would just want to go back to.
No, he'll throw them under the bus and will run them over. Then
we're really in trouble. Then.
His sons too. No, he'll run them over because at the bottom line is that all of this is because of me. Kitchener, my daughter, and my son. I am Donald Trump. I did all. I created. They here because of me. You only know their name because of me. No. He will throw all them under the bus and get it.
Well, he says that he eats a lot of Big Macs and filet of fish and all of that.
That's good.
So eat up.
Yeah.
And McDonald's do the Lord's work. So I did you happen to see the results of the mayoral election in
Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah, I just saw it. That
was a good thing.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you see something like that?
Did
you ever think that you would see something like that?
Well, I don't know.
A black woman winning?
Well, they have had a white person in mayor of Atlanta in 40 years.
Yeah.
So and they've had black women too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just
But I tell you this,
it's consistent.
I tell you this. This will probably be the last black person for a while.
Why is that? Because it was so close.
Yes, and then the population is changing.
Yeah,
it's
changing.
It's changing, and so
you mean before it wasn't always close?
No, no. I mean,
missed it by that much.
Maynard Jackson. I'm going back. We just talking about Maynard Jackson and Andrew Young. I mean, no, it was landslides. But then the population was.
That's true.
It's like in Washington, it used to be called
Chocolate City
for a reason.
But it's not anymore.
Right.
It's not anymore. But I think that this was an example of every vote count.
Yeah.
Because there was a big initiative to get people out for this special,
Well, did you hear also in Atlanta the newscaster? What happened with her?
Her going after the viewer that called her.
Yeah, called her a nigger.
Yeah. And
on air, emailed it, texted in, and she did a good thing because she called her name out.
I'm glad she did that.
Gloria Johnson, you would call me that? Oh, I mean, so that was good. That was good. But see, here again, that's what I'm talking about. You have to be able to fight right and wrong. It was a time that she would have never said anything. That was just part of the part of the territory. But when you're right, and you can fight back by being right, what I mean, and it's being bold, and so they have to, I think the right is going to win now because you got the president who's got multiple women who said that he molested them.
Right.
You got the guy that wants to come in the Senate with molested little children. You can't get it. Now,
I don't think you can get worse than that.
Right. What does his daughter say?
There's a special place. Place for
there's a special place in hell for people like that.
Yeah, what you said?
That the people that her father is supporting.
But maybe hell is the Senate. Because
maybe
why is it that the Democrats are the only ones who seem to own up to any problems? Like if you look at somebody like the Attorney General, when you go back to during the period where Clinton was going through his drama, he was talking about obstruction of justice and nobody's above the law. And then you fast forward 20 some years and these things that would apply to Donald Trump, they don't say those things. The same people that said those things about Clinton, and the Clintons are dirty. So I don't want to say that the Clintons weren't dirty. I just think that they just had different types of dirt on them.
They weren't as dirty as the man that's in the
right.
office.
I say it was a different type of dirt.
Yeah.
They just had regular political dirt.
Listen, they had Gary Hart who ran in '88 and for president, and he would probably have won. And they accused him of messing around with women. And he said, hey, I'm not doing anything. You can follow me any way you want. I ain't going nowhere. And he was. They called him the next day on the vote was called I think it was called the monkey vote or something like that. The girl was sitting in his lap. He was gone, sitting in his lap. And so it's changed.
It definitely has.
A pervert would have who molested children would never have been elected years ago. But then again, it would go back. A black man would never been elected president. So everything changes. And so, but we have, as a people, have to get in control of that change. Because if we, you can let the change happen and then you're getting perverts, you're getting rapists, you're getting murder. Next you're going to have a murderer in there. Guy, he killed my brother. And y'all elected him president? I mean,
yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna say? I served my time. You know what I mean? So no, you got to get standards.
No, because Republicans don't admit nothing that they do.
Yeah,
I didn't do it. We have your fingerprints. We have it on tape. It wasn't me. And
everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows that the president is a habitual liar. Who can't he help himself? He lies in the same sentence.
He does.
So. So we have to get those standards back and realize that no, we're better. What's that? It's like it's a street vocabulary. We better than that. You better than that now.
Right. Yes. Yes.
I know you better than that. So,
yeah. This time next week can we it's going to be next Tuesday. I want you to come back.
Okay.
Because the election is going to be going on. We should have those election results in, and hopefully Moore has lost,
right.
So that's good. We'll come back.
And, be glad to.
Yeah, but like I said, either way, it wouldn't have happened here in Maryland.
No.
Not somebody like that.
He wouldn't even been on the. He was in the running.
Yeah, they'd have ran him out of town. But thank you as always.
Yes.
And so you have some big things coming up. We're not going to announce it yet, but you got some big things coming up.
Yes.
That I want to talk about. That's really going to help baby boomers,
old people like me,
put extend their life. And the quality of life.
Right.
So we're going to talk about that.
And the bottom line, that's the objective. Everybody's trying to see how long they can live and how healthy they can get while they're living.
Right. And you can get healthy because you can control
Right.
what you do and what you eat.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So definitely want to thank everybody. Dear Women with Love is coming up next. At the Diamond K Show, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow me there. People can send music, djdiamondk@gmail.com. If you miss this live, you can always catch us on demand, RadioOnFire.com. Click radio shows and click the Diamond K Show, and you will see all the shows that you missed. All right, so I will be back tomorrow. Dear Women with Love is coming up next.